tomorrow. So we're going to start today. So to make pizzas, you might want to get this 00 flour. You don't need it. You can make pizzas with just regular all-purpose flour. It's nothing out of the world. This will definitely make a nicer pizza. Now, pizzas, you want them crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. That's a good pizza crust. The way we do that is we make a poolish. Poolish is like sourdough kind of. So you're going to need your scale. On the scale. It's a scale. You'll have a scale. You put your container on the scale, and then you hit tar. Tar zeroes it out. So basically says whatever's on here is the starting point. We don't need to, if I take this off, it's a negative weight. This is how much this weighs. So we're weighing things in grams. You can change units, ounces, kilograms, whatever, grams. And what we want is about 300, well, exactly, because it's science, 300 grams of flour. Scale takes a second to catch up, so it's 100, about halfway, 216, 260,
almost there,
275.
Oh, sorry.
304. Boop.
You're that exact science.
300.
300.
Now we'll want this later. We're just making the poolish today. We're going to need more of this flour tomorrow. The next thing that we do is we get ourselves some warm water. We hit tar, so it zeroes it out again. And we're going to add 300 grams of water. About half of it. A little slower on this one because we can't take water away.
So we're trying to get to 300 again.
Up to 300, yep. 300 flour, 300 water. Pretty easy to remember.
1 to 1.
Perfect, look at that.
303.
Close enough. And then, last, you take your yeast, instant yeast, whatever, and like you want half a gram, which is basically nothing. So a pinch of yeast we're putting in there. This is pretty old yeast, so I'm gonna put 2 pinches in, but not a lot of yeast, just a little taste of yeast. Roll this back up. Yeast likes to live in the fridge. And then we just give this a little stir.
That's in our fridge?
Yeah, on the door. Give this a stir.
Okay.
Camera person. And it should be a very wet dough. Like it is pancake batter kind of situation, not cookie dough. Right? And we just want to incorporate it. We don't really need to knead or anything like that. This is a starter for the dough that we're going to need tomorrow. And we're going to just let this sit. We're going to cover this loosely. Take a moist towel is a good way to do it. You could also make this in like one of these Tupperwares and it'd probably be fine. Don't put a lid on it because it will expand. So when we come check on this tomorrow, it will have grown up a little bit, but that's it. That's poolish.
Voila.
Wow. All right, welcome to day 2 of making pizzas. Here's our poolish. Look at that. All sorts of little bubbles. That's how you know it's been doing its work. And that's looking pretty good. So what we're gonna do now is make the rest of our dough. So I'm gonna tar this again so it's at 0. And then this gets 330 grams of flour. 330, that's perfect. Perfecto. Also going to need 70 grams of water. Tar that. That's pretty close. We'll let that work. So now all this needs to come together. And we'll use a spatula to do that. But one secret is you can get the poolish to come off of the thing you put it in by kind of sliding the water in there. And that's kind of like a poolish blob. And then it goes right in there. Bloop. You may notice today I'm wearing an apron because this can get a little messy. So we're making a dough. You can use your hands, but then you're going to be picking dough off of your hand straw. If you've got gloves, like disposable gloves, you can throw them on and makes your life a little easier. I like to use a little spatula to get things going, just so it doesn't end up all under my fingernails and stuff. And once it's not too wet.
Melanie's texting you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll text her back in a minute.
Something about travel tickets.
Ah. Cool, so. So we just want this to incorporate together. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're not like kneading this or anything. We just want to make a dough so it doesn't have like flour left over. We're just trying to get the moisture and the flour combined into a little bit of a ball, and then we can leave this. Oh, I forgot. We need salt.
Important.
Hmm?
It's important.
Gotta have salt. Make it taste good. It's gotta be an important ingredient in your bread. Otherwise, it tastes like Italian bread, not French bread. You don't want that. You want, even though it's pizza, you want some salt in there. Some salt over here. All right, see, it's kind of coming together. So again, we don't really have to overthink it at this stage because we're gonna let this sit for at least an hour, and then we're gonna do a little bit more kneading, and we're gonna kind of repeat that a couple of times. So take that stuff off the back of my fingers so I can be part of that. And leave this covered in a warmish place and move on with your life. And you see how it's starting to kind of grow a little. We're going to fold it over on itself. Give it a little bit of a knead. Just kind of stretch it. And just kind of pull it out. Fold it back on itself. And let it sit for longer. We take it out of that and we chop it into 4 and make little balls. And for each dough ball, you want to kind of pinch a little bit from the outside, and I'm kind of spreading the middle. And that's going to give me that crust on the outside and You don't want it to be too thin. You don't want to overdo it. So I like to kind of come at this in phases. It's like an hour before I'm even going to start making pizzas. I'm just kind of letting the dough gently go where I need it to go. Don't leave it too long or it starts to get hard. You get weird little crusty guys, which we don't really want. We can also make sure that this towel is moist. That'll keep it from getting dried out. Okay, time to start making pizza. I am lazy, and I don't want to deal with flour everywhere, or cornmeal, or making my pizzas at the exact speed that they don't stick to something. And so I use parchment paper, which is pretty cheap, all the way around. I'm going to roll my pizzas out onto these parchment papers, and I'm not going to have to worry about moving them. Take one out at a time. And again, you're kind of grabbing. You go in the back of your hands really gently. I don't want to be able to see through there. I want to pinch the thick parts. Now that's going to have to sit. Anything that's kind of thick, you can just kind of let the weight drag it apart. You don't want any holes. And if we just let these kind of sit for a bit, then they'll rise back up. When they're super thin right now, they'll rise a little bit more. Toppings. We don't need all this extra paper, it's just enough so we can move it around. We got the pizza sauce, a couple of splops, and then with the back of your spoon, you move it around without poking through the dough. Some mozzarella. If you use the really wet, fresh stuff that you might for like a caprese sandwich, it tends to make your pizza a little soggy. So I like getting good mozzarella, but getting it in a little bit of the drier form, because you can kind of put it where you want it, and it won't add too much moisture to what you're doing. Salt, pepper. We're just going to pop that in the oven. Put your oven on the hottest convection bake temperature you can. So my oven has a special pizza setting. On a regular oven, 500 convection bake. That's what you want. Put it down in there on the stone. And when she comes out, looks like that. Mmm, pizza.